Welcome! My name is Like It's 1985. Today we're going to take a look at the Unique Toys Warhawk figure. This is a third-party Transformers figure. Now Warhawk does combine with the other figures that will soon be released to form the Warlord figure. And Warlord itself is a homage to Generation 1 Predaking. So in this case, Warhawk is a homage to Generation 1 Divebomb. And first off here, take a look at the box art here. Pretty nice here with Warhawk. Pretty cool. Not too much on the bottom here. And on the back, of course you have information here about Warhawk. Kind of a bio there. And on the top you have some line art. So let's go ahead and open this up and I'll show you what you get. Alright, so you get all the accessories in the figure in a nice clear tray. You get a trading card, which has, it's more of a stat card I guess, but you can call it a trading card here. It's got the stats for this character and a picture. Got your manual here, which is preceded I should say, by a comic, a little short comic. Nothing too fancy. And this is the entirety of the instructions, so it's not a very difficult transformer to transform into its various modes. So there you go. And let's take a look at these wonderful accessories in the figure itself. So you get this sword, hard plastic, nothing too fancy. You get the wings here, which do obviously, as you can see, come separately detached from the figure. So nice gold paint, articulation, and what's really cool is the individual feathers here are articulated. So that's really cool. Got your wings, and my favorite accessory here, the massive hand with massive amounts of articulation, as you can see. You can see there's joints here allowing the thumb to bend, as well as the fingers. Wow, could you imagine getting hit in the face with this? Got the spikes coming out here on the side, and just very cool. Got this joint here. You can see the ball joint connects the hand to this joint, which will actually be connected together between what are the legs here in robot mode. But I'll show you that more in detail. So, massive hand there. I like that. And the figure comes packaged in robot mode, obviously. We'll take a closer look at it. But here it is, pretty much how it comes out of the packaging. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at robot mode. Since essentially the figure does come packaged in robot mode, let's start out with that. And here he is. And before we go any further, let me show you a size comparison with the G1 Divebomb figure. And yeah, you can see the massive size difference there in terms of just overall bulk. I do have Divebomb here leaning forward a bit, just because he tends to fall over for some reason. But let me go ahead and straighten him up. And there you go. You know, wingspan, height, bulk. The G1 figure definitely wins in all three categories there. So just an idea there. Now this guy, of course, being a newer figure, is going to win in the articulation area. So let's have a look at that. So articulation on this guy, starting with the wings, there's quite a bit, and just phenomenal amount of articulation here at the feathers, if you will. These actually can go up and down, but the individual feathers here, as you can see, do rotate side to side. So that's cool. And then you have this joint here. So you do have a wide range of possibilities for the wings, which is nice. This one seems to be a little loose on this side for some reason. You have the tail here, which articulates up and down. This tail, this plastic, seems really fragile, so be careful. I'm not saying it's cheap, but I am saying it's just that type of plastic, and it's so thin that just be careful. So this articulates up and down like that. So moving to the front here, articulation at the toes here, as you can see, up and down due to the transformation. You do have a bend at the knee, swivel, and the hips are of course on ball joints. You do have a waist joint there, and then you do also have a swivel joint here at the ab area, or the torso area, and that's also due to the transformation. The hands, that's all they can do, and then you have a bend at the elbow. Arms can go out to the side, and the actual shoulder should be able to rotate just a bit. You can see it's going to clash with this depending on how this is angled, but you do have articulation there. So, and then the head is on a ball joint, and I'm going to have to do something with the ball joint because this one's really loose, looser than I like to have it. So that's the articulation. And let's see, of course he has a weapon he can use. He has that sword, as we saw before. We can go and place it in the figure's hand here, and whoops, like that. So there we go. Take a look at robot mode, and you can see here how floppy this is. It's connected in the same way, it's just not, yeah, it's not cool. Again, that's just maybe my figure, but that's unfortunate. I mean, it'll stay up, but it moves pretty easily. So, alright, so let's go ahead and transform Warhawk here into his bird form. Go ahead and take the bird head and cover up the robot head. Take the hands, split them back into the arms. Take the arms themselves and collapse them up into the shoulder armor, like that. And take the shoulder armor itself in the arms and collapse them into the torso. Take the waist, rotate it around, and then what you're going to do with the legs is you're going to collapse up the legs. Well, actually take the feet first and get those out of the way. Collapse the leg, and as you do so, down here, the claws for the bird mode will come out. See that? So do the same thing over here. Extend out the claws. As you can see, each claw or each talon, I should say, is individually articulated, so that's good. Alright, so here we have Warhawk in his bird form, and what we'll do first is take a look at him compared to Generation 1 Divebomb. And again, there is of course a massive size difference there. Particularly, you can see the wingspan is much larger with the G1 Divebomb figure. So there you go, a little size comparison. I guess we can do it face to face here, and you can see the difference there as well. And back to back here. So articulation for the bird form here does remain the same. Obviously the arms now are not available to articulate, but you got articulation at the legs again. And you have these feet here with the individually articulated claws, and of course the usual articulation with the tail and the wings here. So there you go, bird form for Warhawk. Transforming the bird mode into the left arm of the combined mode. First off, go ahead and take off the wings. They pop off like that. So now, go ahead and bring out the shoulder and the arms out temporarily so that you can actually rotate the torso around for the transformation. Collapse together the claws, extend out the legs. On the back here is the combining post. Go ahead and rotate this out. Now for the transformation, you actually have to have the feather here, the tail feather, on the opposite side as the connecting peg here. So that's where the torso joint comes into play, and you want to rotate the torso around along with the feather, of course, like that. And you may have to adjust the waist as well because it tends to rotate with the torso joint. At this point, go ahead and fold back in the arms into the torso, like so. nice and secure. And then what you're going to do is you're going to rotate the torso, or rather the waist, around like this. So here's a look at the Warhawk figure in limb mode. Obviously it's going to form the left arm of the combined figure, and looks pretty good. It does have rotation here and bend, so you can see there it does look like an arm. And here is the comparison with the Generation 1 Predaking arm. And you can see overall the length of the Warhawk arm here on the left is longer, but the Generation 1 Divebomb figure in the arm mode is much bigger and much bulkier. But you see the design similarities with the head there on the top, and then you have the feathers design on the side. So just a look at the size difference between the two of them.